GB's here of Into the Squared Circle podcast, and welcome to a special interview edition of Into the Squared Circle podcast. And yes, this week is a tag team interview edition, of course. This week's guest is Brian Krazer and Joe Blues of No Coast, representing Rocket Pro Wrestling, of course. Yes, this interview was held on March the 4th of 2023, prior to the Shamrock Showdown event. And yeah, we'll talk about the turmoil that's going on within the No Coast faction. Yes, there's a civil war going on, but we'll talk about that very shortly, of course. Hey, before I continue on, I want to give a shout out to Take Action Photography. That's right, I want to send a shout out to the lovely lady to take the photos. If you keep track on my social media platform, Into the Squared Circle podcast, which is available on Facebook. Yeah, it's available on Facebook. Give it a like. Also on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. Into the Squared Circle podcast or Into the Squared Circle pod. So as I mentioned on my official Facebook page, I am tagged to a post on Facebook from Take Action Photography. A beautiful photo, of course. If you heard my last interview episode with Shogun Chris Logan, yeah, an awesome photo of myself and Chris Logan during the interview, and obviously the very first one with Gunner Brave. So yes, there's another awesome photo of Brian Krazer and Joe Blues of No Coast. And yes, Take Action Photography, yeah, she's available on Facebook, she's available on Twitter, and on Instagram. She also have a website, takeactionphotos.smugmug.com. Again, her website is takeactionphotos with a S.smugmug, smugmug.com. The shout out to the lovely lady to take these awesome pictures, and not only RPW pictures, but the local Chicago independent scene. Great photos. So shout out to her. And yes, she will be at Spring Break on April 15th. No, I'm not talking about Cancun. I'm not talking about Florida, the beach with palm trees. No. It's going to be in a little old town called Joliet, Illinois. That's right. Rocket Pro Wrestling presents Spring Break going down on April 15th. That's the place you want to be at during spring break. Of course, they will have cold beer on hand for all the beer drinkers out there. It's going to be food. It's going to be merch. It's going to be a hell of a time for pro wrestling fans. So if you want to spend your spring break weekend somewhere, Joliet, Illinois is the place at St. Joe's Park. Rocket Pro Wrestling presents Spring Break on April 15th. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a party. Yes, tickets will be available on site at the door, cash only. Get there early. That place will be packed. All right, let's talk about this interview for this week. Brian Krazer and Joe Blues of No Coast. Yes, No Coast. A faction that's been dominating the Chicagoland area for a long time now. But now I'm about to do a Cody Rhodes promo. Let me peel back the curtains just a little bit. So Brian Krazer has been a friend of mine for a long time. Yeah, absolutely. I know Brian for a very long time. But lately, the past couple of months, him and his partner Joe Blues, their attitudes changed. They start acting a little bit differently. Coming out to the ring wearing dark shirts and dark pants. I'm like, okay, this is a side of Brian that I've never seen before. Of over 10 plus years of friendship, and this is a whole different side I've never seen before. Well, eventually No Coast was going through a little bit of issues within the faction. Now there's a civil war between Brian and Joe and the rest of the guys in No Coast. And this civil war within the No Coast has been heating up within the past couple of months. So in this interview you're about to listen to, I brought up the match from Cupid Carnage, the February show from RPW. Of course. Yeah, there was a match that Brian and Joe was on, and I pointed out from that match, stating how that match went down. And look, I will tell you, honestly, myself and the other 200 people that saw that match in person, I assume everybody would agree that they cheated, right? And accordingly, I didn't see that blatantly in front of them in the interview. I kind of mentioned it. Of course, Brian said he has the best headlock on the planet. But of course, if you were in attendance at Shamrock Showdown, the March event, yeah, well, they were trying to pull off the same game plan. I won't spoil the match because you can check it out on RPW's official YouTube account, Rocket Pro Wrestling. Give those guys a like and a subscribe. And by the way, all their information on their upcoming shows or the prior shows, or check out the roster list and so much more at rocketprowrestling.com. But moving in ahead, as I mentioned, spring break, the next event in April 15th. Yes, Brian's going to be featured on the show. Brian Krazer versus Trayvon Wolf. But also on the interview, I kind of talked about Chet Gunderson. That's right, Chet Gunderson is the president of Rocket Pro Wrestling. Well, he was kidnapped by Joe and Brian. And the past couple weeks, fans are wondering, where is Chet? Where are these guys hiding Chet? Well, they sent out a ransom note stating, we will release Chet Gunderson unless you guys give us what we want. And what they wanted was a case of hard Mountain Dew. Hey, can't go wrong with hard Mountain Dew, man. That's some good stuff right there. But they got what they wanted, and yes, they released Chet Gunderson, and he will be live in action April 15th at Rocket Pro Wrestling. Spring break. Okay, enough of me yabbing. Let's get on to the episode interview of No Coast, Brian Krazer, and Joe Blues. Enjoy. All right, welcome everybody. This is your host, GP's live from the St. Joe's Park in Joliet, Illinois. Rocket Pro Wrestling presents Shamrock Showdown. It's going to be a loaded show. Fans are lining up around the block. The parking lot is full. I mean, I can't even find my own car. This is how many people is on the parking lot right now. I feel like it's the Allstate Arena. But hey, I got some special guests right here next to me. Hailing from Lockport, Illinois, and Bridgeview, Illinois. Lockport and Bridgeview. Tell you what, these guys are dangerous guys. If I came across these guys in a dark alley, I run as far, as fast as I can. Without further ado, Mr. Brian Krazer and Joe Blues. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Good to be here.
Why, you know what? Thank you guys so much for joining on this show. What's the game plan for tonight and Shamrock Showdown for you guys?
Well, he's in the match, but I know after the match we're going to enjoy that whole truck full of hard Mountain Dew. We got rid of that stupid eated Chet and got paid. So what you're doing?
Yeah, it's for once I'm in a good mood. Yep. We have a whole van's worth of hard Dew, all the variety flavors, not just a single flavor. So going into this match against DC Shaw, my brother, my blood, oh, I am feeling good. He is going to learn his lesson tonight. And I would love to tell you that lesson, but clearly spoilers. Can't go too far into it, but I can tell you this much. I am going to beat him, bruise him, and some other B words that I can't really think of right now.
We'll make him blue.
Yeah, he'll feel the blues, that's for sure.
I tell you what, man, there's just fans are out there right now on social media. Where's Chet? Where's Chet? And you know what? I'll ask these guys. I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna step in an interview and ask him where is Chet. But as you mentioned, you will spoil a little bit later on. So obviously there's been a lot of stuff going on the social media platform. So all right, as you mentioned, the game plan, the mindset behind the match.
Shaw brought it up that he thinks we've been cheating lately, and I would say we're bending the rules a bit, just like everybody else in Rocket Pro Wrestling. Clearly, bending the rules is okay here. They've established that. So that's all we were doing. But if he wants it to be fair and square, I am more than happy to oblige. I can beat him fair and square. I know him like a book. I know him like our favorite song. I know his lyrics. I know his melody. The win's going to me tonight, and for that reason alone.
I want to correct you on something. Apparently, you did not do your research if you're asking where's Chet. The latest video, we clearly gave Chet back for the ransom of the whole truck full of hard Mountain Dew. So where's Chet? He's probably in the hospital after what we did to him.
Okay.
To be fair, he was probably asking in terms of where has he been, what have we been doing with him.
Yeah, but if you would have watched, you would have seen we threw him off a bridge. He rolled down the hill.
Allegedly.
We put him in the trash can.
Allegedly.
What is that allegedly? We're in the video.
That's what the lawyers say. They tell us to say allegedly, okay?
Fair enough.
We're not supposed to openly admit to certain things, even if it is
Video proof.
on film.
All right, because I mean, that's the point I'm trying to get is, where's Chet? And it kind of explains. Now, you guys gave the answer and what happened to Chet, of course, as I mentioned. But yes, I was in attendance at the last show in February, Cupid Carnage, and yes, you guys end up getting the victory last show. I hate to be that guy. Again, I'm going to be right in the middle and be fair. And all the fans saw it. I mean, it was a sold-out packed show back in February. Fans saw it. Everybody saw what happened at the very end. I know. We see some faces going on here. We've seen what happened.
Yeah, you've seen what happened. I have the fastest sleeper in the Midwest. Of course, as soon as I locked it on, he was out. So, yeah, you saw it. He saw it. Everyone saw it.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
All right, well, guess what? Tonight is Shamrock Showdown. As mentioned, next month we have Spring Break on April 15th, of course. Again, it's going to be a loaded show. What's the future? What's the game plan for you guys in the near future?
Well, hopefully we'll be done with this whole Civil War, and they see the light and know what we're doing is the right way to do things.
Yeah, I think the future depends on them. Clearly, we have our path set. We know what we're trying to do. And right now, they're a problem. And we don't want them to be a problem. They're family, they're blood. But if they're going to continue to be a problem, we will continue whooping their ass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's our plan for April, is if they don't learn their lesson this month, we'll teach them a new one next month. And so on, and so on, and so on, until we've taught them as many lessons as we have hard do. Which, as we told you, is a whole van's worth.
Yep.
Well, it was a big statement here from Joe and Brian, as always. As I mentioned, Shamrock Showdown's going down tonight, March 4th of 2023. By the time this podcast will come out, the April show is coming up on April 15th. Spring breaks. Get here early, as fast as you can. Tickets will sell from the front row to the back row. I tell you what, it's going to be a hot crowd tonight. Again, Joe, good luck to you tonight as always. And thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We have nothing against you.
Hey, where can fans find you guys on social media?
No Coast on Facebook, and that's
Type in No Coast, we come up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've established this brand, and you type in No Coast in any social media platform, you're going to find us.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, take care.